Okay, so I'm here in India, my 103rd country. I got here yesterday morning. I'm here with a tour guide back there in the background named Bobby, and I'm going to recommend his services to visit the place that I'm about to show you, okay? Because this guy is amazing. Same age as I am. He's 44. He's done hundreds of these tours, and he is just an absolutely phenomenal tour guide. His rates and the shots, the pictures he takes with you. And let me show you what it is that we're taking pictures of. Is one of the seven wonders of the world. It's one of the most photographed things in the world, okay? And people visit this place from all over the earth, okay? So you can probably guess where I'm at, right? Let me give you a hint. I'm in Agra, not Delhi. I was in Delhi. I arrived in Delhi, but I'm in Agra now. You probably figured it out if you are a traveler yourself or if you know India. And I am at the magnificent Taj Mahal, okay? So the Taj Mahal, like I said, it's a world famous place. It's also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Donald Trump visited here a couple years ago. Princess Diana sat right over there, sat right over there on the bench years and years ago. And this was built in the 1600s, and it has a very long and elaborate story to it. And the architecture of this place alone has its own very interesting story. And Bobby, my tour guide, he knows all this stuff. He knows all this stuff. Tell me about the marble and how it's heavy and how it's hard to chisel and carve. And they did that, and they used different rocks, different colored rocks. It's not painted. It's not painted. The different colored rocks and stones that you see in there are natural. Those are natural colors, okay, that they chiseled in there. So it took 22 years to build, and it was built by a prominent person who was a Muslim. This is a Muslim mausoleum. Technically, it's a Muslim mausoleum. Nowadays, it's a tourist attraction, but it's still a Muslim mausoleum, one of the most famous in the world. Okay, and so the man who built it was a prominent Muslim, and he built it for another woman. Okay, so there is a long, elaborate story. I will share that online. And this place, it doesn't take long to get here. There's different ways you can get here. You can take the train, which a lot of people do, and it's very cheap. It only takes a couple hours. You can rent a vehicle. Might cost a little bit more, but you can get directly here. You don't have to stop at the train station, then try to get here. You can get directly here to the Taj Mahal, and then you can go see a couple of other places. So if you have your own vehicle, it takes about 4 hours to get here, but there's a lot of other stuff you can do while you're doing that, okay? And also, sometimes you can get a vehicle and it includes all the fees, entry fees. So when you're when you're talking to a tour guide, don't just get anybody. Negotiate the price, talk them down, and find out what it includes, okay? So when it comes to Taj Mahal tourism, I mean, the sky is the limit. You can fly here, you can take a train here, you can rent a vehicle and drive here. I'm not sure what the vehicle driving laws are here, but in Sri Lanka, you needed an international driver's license and like a Sri Lankan driver's permit, special permit. So those two documents, I can't just rent one, just having a U.S. driver's license, unless I want to do it illegally, which I would not do in Sri Lanka. Here, they may have similar laws. I'll figure that out, find out. I'm a big road tripper. If I can rent a motorcycle, like I did in Sri Lanka, if I can rent a motorcycle or a scooter or a vehicle or whatever, if I can rent one myself and drive myself, I'm always comfortable with that. But if I cannot do it due to the laws or whatnot, and I ended up not riding the motorcycle because it was raining, so I didn't even ride it. And I wasn't even going to try to ride it without the permit because the guy said, well, you're just going to be here for 3 days. It's not a big deal. I'm glad I didn't do it because I really didn't want to break the law. Okay, I do have moral flexibility, but not too much moral flexibility when it comes to travel. I want to respect the laws. So I'm glad I didn't break the law in Sri Lanka. So here, Taj Mahal, and it's something you can just sit and stare at all day, walk around. They got a museum here. There's stories all around. Every building has its own story. There's a couple different entrances you can go in. We came in through the western entrance. Cost 1,300 rupees. Cost 100 rupees to get inside the actual building. Okay, Taj Mahal. And I paid 6,000 rupees for the ride down here and back. And that includes also a trip to the Agra Fort, which is what we're going to see next. So, yeah, India. Let's talk about its population. It's going to surpass China in population numbers in just a few years. So China has about 1.4 billion people. India is about the same. And they're going to surpass China as the world's most populated country in just a few years. Less than 5 years, that's going to happen. Projected. Okay. There's a lot I can say. There's a lot of spicy food here if you like food. I had a spicy chicken and rice dish. It was very good last night, but I don't have the stomach. I don't have the stomach for the curry and all the other stuff they put in there, the peppers, the onions. It's good, but if you're not used to it, it'll throw you off guard. So understand, it is spicy food. So if you have health issues or you don't have an appetite for that, make sure when you get food, even when I went to Burger King this morning on the way here, there's no beef because cows are sacred here, part of the Hindu culture. So you got cows walking around all over the place just freely and openly, just like people. All right, you got to drive around them and everything. And I mean, it's illegal to kill a cow. You can actually in some places they'll kill you for it. You can get prison time or whatever. So there are poachers that do it because they want the beef. Do not do that. Okay. Also, you cannot. Now this is going to sound funny. Okay. You cannot. You can't kiss people in public like you can in Western places. In Europe or in the United States or Canada or whatever. You can't just make out with somebody out in the open like that. It's not allowed. It's against the law. Some places in India might be more laxed with those laws, but around here, they're pretty strict about it. Now, I want to tell you a story about Richard Gere. He kissed a Bollywood actress. Bollywood is like their version of Hollywood. He kissed a famous Bollywood actress on the cheek. They sent out an arrest warrant for him. This was years ago. Richard Gere got out of the country before they arrested him, but that was a very serious offense back then. And now it's still not acceptable to do that, and it is a law. Okay, you can't just make out with somebody like you do. You go to Europe, you go party, nightlife. People are making out all over the place. Here, they don't do that. Okay, just like the Middle East, they're not that open to that kind of stuff. Okay, there's a lot of other stuff I can tell you about India. It's a very big and beautiful country. Now, my favorite part of India that I want to check out, other than this place, which is one of my favorite parts, is Goa. Okay, because Goa is a former Portuguese colony, and I'm a huge fan of Macau. I'm a huge fan of Brazil. I'm a huge fan of Portugal, and I love those small brick sidewalks and roads that the Portuguese built hundreds of years ago that you see in all places that are Portuguese related, including the places that I just mentioned. Goa is a former Portuguese colony, okay, and it's a very unique part of India, so that's where a lot of foreigners naturally go because of its colonial history. Of course, there was a lot of colonial presence in India. The British, of course, ruled for years and years and years until they earned their independence, and I think it was 1948. Bobby, 1948, is that when India became independent of the UK? 1948, a lot of former British colonies, former European colonies were able to become independent after World War II because all of those countries were bankrupt after the war. The European countries, they had to let those colonies go, okay? And so it was easier for them to get independence after that. Of course, China, is it 1948? 47, China. I thought it was 48.
What was China? India was 47.
47, China was 48.
Yeah.
India was 1947, China was 48. We just celebrated National Day on October 1st in China, so I'm pretty sure October 1st, 1948, that's all about China. I'm talking about India right now, but 1947 is when India became India, independent country from the United Kingdom, from the British. Okay, so I'm going to let you go because I've been talking for about 8 minutes now, and me and Bobby were getting hot, and we got to get some more water, and we got to go see the Agra fort. So, Bobby, you want to say anything?
Welcome to all of you to see this beautiful Taj Mahal. Anytime you want any type of assistance, we are over here. Thanks for your help.
And I want to say one more thing about the McDonald's because I was running my mouth and I didn't finish. At McDonald's, you have the first time I've ever seen a chicken Whopper. Everything's chicken and everything's spicy. Even the hash browns I got were a little bit reddish and they were hot, spicy. So spicy food. And if you go to Burger King, you got yourself a chicken Whopper. Not a regular Whopper, but it's still good. It was really good. No beef on the menu, okay? Because no beef, cows are sacred. I just wanted to say that one last time. And with that said, we're out of here. Take care. Peace out. India, country number 103. Come see one of the 7 wonders of the world, the magnificent Taj Mahal, and come see it with Bobby. Peace out.